Hey everybody, this is the last chapter of Algebra 1, is chapter 11. This is 11.1, which will include in your course suite of Algebra 1, it will include quizzes, tests, worksheets, and you can either get it in PowerPoint or video. Email me here and I'll fix you up on that. 11.1, find probabilities and odds. Here's your standard here, CC 9 through 12. S.CP.1, describe events or subsets of a sample space in probability. 42 points here on classwork, 0 points on your note-taking. Here's the bell work here. So students, as you come into your classroom, start on this. Homeschoolers, this is a good warm-up for you. Write the fraction as a decimal. Here is the answer here, because it's Friday, or rather it's Thursday. This will be the long division here to find out that 40 goes into 17 0.425 times. And this is a roundup here to 0.43. And the same thing here, 14 divided by 35 is 0.4. This is your bell work answer here. Finding probabilities and odds, you made organized list and tree diagrams. We did that a little bit in I think end of chapter 10. I think maybe you get into that. You will find sample spaces and probabilities now. So you can find the likelihood of an event as an example 2. We'll get in that to here in part of 11.1. A possible result of an experiment is called an outcome. For instance, when you roll a number cube, there are 6 possible outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. An event is an outcome or a collection of outcomes, such as rolling an odd number. The set of all possible outcomes is called a sample space. So here's some good terminology here for statistics. This is your classwork sheet, page 2. And then here is your key vocabulary, students. You should get this down. Outcome and event. Go back into your classwork sheet, page 2, and that will have the definitions of these 2 vocab words here. And then sample space, same thing. Students, this is in your classwork. This is classwork sheet, page 4, 10 points here. Probability of an event in sample space. Classwork sheet, page 5. Here's example 1. Find a sample space. You flip a coin and roll a number cube. How many possible outcomes are in the sample space? List the possible outcomes. Here is your coin flip here. You can either get heads or tails, but for heads you get 6 different outcomes here for heads, and then same thing with tails, you get 6 different outcomes here. This is called a tree diagram, students. The sample space in this whole thing here is your sample space. Sample space has 12 possible outcomes. They are below. Then here that is again. A little blown up here. Heads 1, tails 1, heads 2, tails 2. So heads 1, tails 1, and then etc. Heads 3, tails 3, etc., etc. Heads 5, tails 5. So these are your different outcomes here. Now to our first guided practice here. You flip 2 coins and roll a number cube. How many possible outcomes are in the sample space? list the possible outcomes. Now here we have 2 coins, not 1. And then students, your independent practice is here. Find a number of possible outcomes in the sample space, then list the possible outcomes. You roll 2 number cubes, so that's a little bit different. And if you need extra room, use an answer sheet, students, and staple it to your class worksheet. This will need room. This will need room. Okay, guided practice. So you flip 2 coins and roll a number cube. How many possible outcomes are in the sample space? List the possible outcomes. So you have heads and tails, and we flip 2 coins. Here's the first coin. And then here's the second coin. So you flip 2 coins and roll a number cube. So here we flip heads and we flip our second coin. We don't flip them simultaneously. They're flipped sequentially here. So here are your outcomes here. And same thing over here. You get tails, you flip again, and then you get a heads or a tails for this. So here are your outcomes down here from 2 coin flips. The sample space has 24 outcomes, and then here they are again in review. Heads, heads 1, heads, heads 2, heads, heads 3, heads, heads 4, and then etc. This is just a way of putting it into a worded kind of response. I would accept the other tree diagrams. That would be fine with me. I mean, this is kind of like a little too much, but it's thorough. I'll give it that much. Into our homework now for part 1. Find probabilities and odds with this standard here. 81 points on your homework, 20 points in notes here. You toss 2 coins, you roll a number cube, toss 3 coins. So in the video, you can rewind your video, and if you have a PowerPoint, you can go backwards on your PowerPoint. So remember that when you order these. Sometimes when I preview these, I go a little too fast. You roll 2 number cubes, and when I'm recording, I can't go in reverse. So if I go through a slide too quickly, that's my bad. You roll 2 number cubes, and then probability and odds, 7 through 13, referred to the spinner. So we use the spinner now for finding our probability here. Multiple of 3. Then these are 4, 6, 9, and 10 is here, over here. Describe and correct the error and find the probability stopping on 9. 4, 6, 9, and then I do believe that is 10. Get back to me on that one. That needs to be corrected. You spin the spinner 30 times. It stops on 12. So this is 12 here, students. 12. 4, 6, 9, 12, I believe. On even number 6, so this is 6 here. What is the experimental probability of stopping on even numbers? So figure that one out. 8 points here, page 6. And then what are the odds of stopping on a multiple of 4? So what are the odds against stopping on a number less than 12? And then describe and correct here. And that is your homework for 11.1. Again, ordering information. Here's your ordering email, and thank you very much.